Greetings once again, fellow girls, guys, and gamers. This is Small Archangel. Welcome once again to another episode of Rising World Survival Series 2. And here we are in our lovely turf roofed hut. I'm glad some of you guys kind of liked the roof look there. I do as well. It is a shame that we can't sort of plant some actual grass on it, but I'm fairly sure with these natural blocks you can do so on the flat blocks, at least the sort of square blocks, just not on the sloped ones. So if you had a flat turf roof, you could probably probably actually have grass growing out of it. I'm not quite sure what that would look like. A little bit crazy perhaps, but I quite like it as it is. You can see I put a little bit of furniture on the inside as well. We've got some skewers there. I've got a table and a chair. There ain't much room to do anything very much. Once we have the means to make posters, I will place some posters in here, not least kind of a sheepskin rug or something on the wall, or on the floor rather. Well, perhaps when we've hunted a moose, we'll put some moose antlers up over the top of the fireplace, that kind of thing, really. And maybe at some point we'll be able to place some objects on top of the table. We are able to do that now. Bits of pre-made in-game furniture can have objects placed on top of them. It was always a bugbear of mine that you couldn't do that, but we can now, so that's great. Okay, in the meantime as well, just a slight apology that there was not an episode last week. That was partly due to the fact it was Christmas, and also, to be honest, partly due to the fact that I've had some slight problems running this game. An update to Windows and or Steam resulted, unfortunately, in the game failing to launch. It's a little bit complicated to go into now, but it's fixed finally, so we're good to go. I was a little bit nervous for a while. But in the meantime, there has been an update to the game. Woohoo! I do love it when we have updates to look forward to, adding extra content, and we've got some really exciting stuff coming up as well. But for the moment, we have fireworks added to the game. Yes, we can now craft fireworks. Well, in theory we can. In practice, we ain't going to be able to for a while. We need sulfur and paper for that. We got neither of those things, but there we go. Craft rockets and set those off. So I think at some point we'll have to do that in our medieval village. That will be awesome. So that's one thing we've got. We've also got new clothing that we can make, and again, we're not in a position to make any of that just yet, but we will do so pretty soon, I think. We got a set of samurai armor, apparently, which is fantastic, and lots of different new weapons as well. I've seen a screenshot thereof. You can see them on the Steam page. On Steam, of course, for the game. But a lot of the weapons apparently are not actually craftable. So we've got craftable weapons here, and if we look at them, we won't see very much that's different from what we've already seen before. I think I've seen the wooden sword before. I don't think it's going to be ever so effective anyway, is it? We've got a metal one at this point. We've got one of these. Long sword. So there's an even longer sword there, which I think is a new one. I don't remember seeing that before. Also small battle axe, small mace, and then a large mace, and what have you. Warhammer. I'm not sure if I saw a Warhammer before either. Of course, then we've got our crossbow, and we've got a musket in there as well, and a rifle, which is a repeater rifle, which is fairly new too, and the ammo to go with all of that stuff. So we're going to be making ourselves a crossbow at some point. I just fancy sniping bears from a safe distance. In fact, even possibly from the top of a very safe tower. That would be brilliant. So we've got those weapons, but there are other weapons which look kind of more... They look more exciting. Whether they do more damage, I don't know, but they can be found in dungeons. So, yeah, going dungeon diving is definitely in our future. I don't need a crystal ball for that, hopefully. My dungeons will actually spawn properly into this game because it's a new one. It's a new save. We also have a stamina bar now, which I can easily demonstrate. You can see the bottom left hand just above our health meter. We have now got a stamina bar, which is green and depletes as we run, which means we cannot sprint forever. Woo, there we go. I'm tired now. I can't run anymore. So no more infinite sprinting away from bears. Definitely need that crossbow. Okay, apparently you can disable the stamina bar in settings. So anybody who doesn't like the idea, you can disable that. I'm going to keep it because all the other survival games I play have one of those as well. So I'm kind of used to it. And then the last thing is, look at my character. She looks a little bit different. Now, I said I was going to change her hair colour to be a little bit more in keeping with medieval village. Yeah, blue is funky. But I've gone for red. So there she is. She's a redhead now. And there are some new hairstyles too. There's about 3 or 4 of them. And this was the one that I liked the most. Now, obviously, at this point, Right, Mo, there we go. We can't see ever so easily because I can't really zoom in on her. But there is her current hairstyle, and I prefer that to the last one that she had. It looks a little bit more tidy. That said, it's not particularly medieval, but hey, there you go. And she's still in her underwear, of course. But there we are. So that's another thing that was added in this update, is a little bit more of the character customization options. And of course, you can customize your character at any time by just going into your profile in the main game options before you log in to your save. Okay, the other last exciting thing is that the next update, we're expecting an update in January, but I don't know if that's still going to give us any of the big content that we really want. What I'm really looking forward to is mounts. That is going to be fantastic, particularly with regard to the plans I have for our medieval village. A mount is going to come in way handy, or even, dare I say, several. I also really hope that they implement the ability to do something with these animals other than try and build walls around which they then teleport through or just walk through like they weren't there, etc. Because I want some animals in my farm as well. Speaking of farm, we've finished our little cabin here. We're going to be coming back here. This is our spawn point. This is where we're going to come back to for our sort of workbenches and stuff as well. But we are going to also be, we need to make ourselves a map, which we're going to need a paper press for and stuff. But first things first, where's my rake? Where is my rake? That's what I really want. Here we go. I've got lots of stone in here. Well, I haven't got that much, but I've got some, and I've also got some wood as well. I've still got some grass blocks left as well. But what we're wanting to do, really, where's my rake? Here it is. What we need to do is we need to start making a pathway from here, and then we need to make sure we know where this is going. Obviously, the landscape around here is not that level, but we're going to make a pathway going out in this direction. Here we go. We've actually got a proper raking animation now, which is great. It's still not doing an ever such a level job here, is it? But hey, we're not going to worry too much. We're thinking medieval here. We're not going to stress the small stuff. And we're basically going to need to make a sort of what I want to do next is my farm, really. I could do with like an overhead view. I could do with in flying mode or something to see this properly, really. I think we'll go to the left of this tree over here. But we need to make a big kind of track that goes sort of straight, and I might just do that off camera because it's going to take a heck of a lot of raking, let's face it. We need to make a big old track kind of going, I'd like to say north-south, but I mean in that direction and in that direction. And our village is basically going to go sort of, yes, on that track. So we're going to have a north-south, I want to say, but I don't honestly know. I don't have a map, so I'm not sure. Maybe east-west, I don't know. Don't have a compass either at this point. But an east-west, north-south, whatever, in two directions. We're just going to have a road, and we're going to place our village on that road. And I am dying of thirst, which isn't great. Hey, this is why I wanted to have a path, so I could very easily get back to our cabin and back to my watering hole, which I know where it is. We'll probably discover some other watering holes also. Oh, run out of stamina. I'm going to have to get used to that one. You drank some water. Jolly good. Okay, so yeah, that's what we're going to have to do. Now, our farm is actually going to be opposite, or more or less opposite, our woodsman's hut, which we've just built over there. But we want all that to be kind of trees and what have you, and lots of woodland around there. We've got some trees here as well, which is fine. We're going to want to take these trees out, of course. Now, our hut is there. We probably want our road to go that way, over there. And this is where I do need to make sure that we are going to have plenty of space. And we're probably going to have to do a certain amount of ground leveling, but I don't want to have to look at all these animals. Wowzer. If only I could pen them up. That hillock there, for example, I'd rather kind of cover that in trees. I'd rather not have to level that at some point, because that would be a pain in the proverbial. So we'll just make sure that we're avoiding that with our road. Okay, so the road is probably going to go, and we just have to go for this. We just have to YOLO it and not worry too much about it. Obviously our road is going to be somewhat wider. Here it is, kind of. Okay, I'm only going to do a little bit of this now, guys. This is something for me to deal with off camera mostly. Basically, we just want to know where our road actually is and what directions it's heading in. And here it kind of is, over like this. Okay, and I will try and make it as level as I can ultimately as well. There we go, but right now I just want a section of the road like so. There we are. So there's our woodsman's cabin going in that direction. We're going to put some little signs in and some little lamp posts like we did before, like we did with our last sort of build as well. But this is going to be the first time I've done a really kind of continuous and organic kind of build where all of the buildings really kind of relate to one another. And we're going to make most use of sort of all of the crafting stations and everything. We're going to place them all in appropriate places. It's going to be great, she says, hopefully. Okay, so there we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to have another path, and you, Mr. Pig. We're going to have another path going off in the opposite direction towards our farm. And I'm just going to have a scoot across here just to make sure that there isn't anything that's going to be... Now, we've got the land dropping off over there. So I want to make sure that I'm not... This is the other reason why we need to have an idea of where we're going. We're going to have a pathway going off over here. We need plenty of space around the farm, basically, because if we don't have enough space, we aren't going to have anywhere for us to place our fields and things. So we do need plenty of flat space. Oh, now there's something. We're going to want to take as many seeds as we can, so let's just do that. There we go, potato seedlings, lovely, there we are. But yeah, we're going to need lots of flat landscapes, so where's best, really? I want my farm to be over here, but maybe it needs to be back in this direction rather than over there. I don't want it to be miles outside of our settlement, but at the same time, it's got to be... it's got to be on the outside because otherwise we're going to struggle to have enough space for it. Oh yeah, I can see this stamina thing is actually going to annoy me quite a lot. So we're going to have our road going kind of this way. It can wiggle, of course. It doesn't need to be absolutely straight. But if our road goes sort of in this direction, we do have that hill there to deal with, but maybe we could put something on the top of it or whatever. We just have to do like to do in real life and make sure that we build things where it sort of makes sense and organically as things kind of evolve. So yeah, our farm is going to be over in this direction. We're just going to have to make sure we don't have too long a trackway to it, I think. And we're going to place... It's going to be a fairly small farm, really, to be realistic. I'm going to take as many seedlings as I can of all different types. There we go. And then we've got plenty to plant out in it as well. It may be a while until we can plant as many things around our farm as we'd like. But just what I wanted to do today, really, was get the path to the farm. I wish, no, we can't use that. Not yet, anyway. Get the path to the farm, get it established where our farm's actually going to be. And then sort of put down the footings, if you like, so we know where the blocks are going to be. And then we're going to need to plan out our fields. And I think we're going to need to plan out the fields first, because I want to plant our fields up and be able to actually, grow some food. So let's see. Let's have our pathway going over this way. And again, I will probably make this track somewhat larger when it comes down to it, because we need, a farm needs kind of a cart track leading to it. So, but for the moment, we just want to make a pathway so we can see where we're going to be actually building. And then, what we'll do is we'll place our farmhouse sort of here. And maybe what I need to do is level this area of ground as much as possible. We're going to need to take these trees down, but more wood is good. So let me just see if I can map out an area that's kind of going to be big enough for our farmhouse. Okay, it's actually dawn of the next day, and I've put in a hard night's work building, or rather leveling, a patch of ground here, and I've missed a bit, not surprisingly, because it was dark, in order to place our farmhouse. This is probably roughly the right shape, but it did occur to me, of course, that we might not actually have the right... well, the orientation of the blocks can't really be changed, and therefore, if they're not going in, the appropriate direction, we could be not exactly square on there and might not be able to use that piece of land quite as I'd anticipated. So we're going to have to build some blocks and find out. Now, do we have any blocks here left over? Not really. We're probably going to be using some of the same blocks for our farm anyway, perhaps. But to start with, we're going to need stone. I think we're going to put all our footings in stone. So I'm going to get a load of stone. Yeah, that's quite a lot. Woohoo! No, I don't want to place it. A load of stone blocks, and we've got our favourites here, and we're probably, to be fair, going to be using this one quite a bit, although we might want some larger stone blocks for our first. See, that one's not too bad either for the purpose. No, that isn't what I meant. But we might want some larger stone blocks to put right for the foundations. Okay, I've added a couple more stone blocks to our foundations, to our favourites. That grass block there might be a good one in future as well. We might want to put some sort of, I don't know, we might find a use for that we really want to use, or if we want some really sort of flat ground that otherwise wouldn't be, we can kind of put that down instead. I don't know, there might be a use for that, so... But we've got this stone here, we've got this stone here, which is extremely mossy, which might look better as a sort of a foundation block, possibly. So I'm going to make some of those first. Let's just make ourselves a bunch of those, and we know I'll run out of the wretched things. It just always happens. So this is the orientation of them here, and I've already established that I can't actually sprint all the way to my farmhouse. I run out of stamina, and of course there's no way of leveling up in this game so far, so we're not actually going to be able to up our stamina either, so just about get here without walking too much. Okay, so let's just see. Yeah, you see, this isn't going to be quite according to plan, is it? Not really, just to be really, really annoying. Okay, so what we want, really... For our I wish we could just like turn them around slightly instead of them always happen to be facing exactly the same direction. But sadly we can't. It is absolutely as I feared. It is not remotely straight. So we're going to have to, let's see, what's going to be the best thing. This corner here is where the land just starts to fall away. So we're basically going to have to start here as the nearest point and then go, see, that's really, really on a massive diagonal. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it. We just have to build according to what we have, don't we? So we'll go from about here, I think, where Daisy is. And there's a ruddy chicken in the way. Will you get your bum out of it? That is not helpful. And basically what we want is a great big rectangle here. And the chicken is going to stop right in the middle of that, isn't it? No? You're going to move your bum? I hope so too. Okay, so we're going to place that 30. There. Oh. Quick, before the blooming cow moves. There we are. Okay, so we'll do that. And I'm just going to have to redo this lot. I don't know why I bothered, really. I don't know. I should have plotted something out with the blocks first. And we need it to be almost as big in this direction. Let's just try that as 20 for the time being. And I'm not entirely sure if that's quite big enough as it goes. So let's go, no, at least another 4 or 5 or 6 in this direction. There we go. And we're going to obviously have to, I'm going to have a load more leveling to do now. So, where's my pickaxe? Because I'm going to have to dig all this lot up. So annoying not being able to turn blocks around. That is one of the major limitations we have to put up with. But we'll get there, nonetheless. Okay, there we go, finally. And this area here, I'm probably going to have to just put some grass over that. Grass it over and sort of call it Well, that's probably going to be our orchard, to be honest, back here where these cows are. Good grief, there's so many animals. I know that's appropriate for a farm, but seriously. So here's our pathway back to the road here, and the road really isn't that far away at all. It's only just, well, here, I think. This is the road right here, but we can probably change that around if we want to and have it going on a slightly different orientation. I haven't quite decided yet, but for the moment, this is our footprint for our farm. It's not ever so big. I'm not entirely sure if it's big enough. So what I'm just going to do right now is just make sure that this is going to be large enough for what we want. So our gateway into the farm is going to be over here somewhere. You know, these animals are really quite annoying, actually. We might just have to slaughter them because there's just too many of them. And they are just in the way. So sorry, Porky. We're going to have your hide and everything else as well. Hide body, here we go. Wow, that's one robust chicken. Okay. And we'll have you two. There we go. And anybody else who enters this circle, or rather this rectangle, is gonna die too. Yes, you are. Because I need your bacon. There we go. We didn't get much bacon off that one, did we? There we go. Alright. You too, Daisy, if you watch out. Don't watch out. Okay, so we've got plenty of these blocks left, so we just need to map it out. Our gateway here is going to be about, I reckon it's going to be about, so it's going to be a few blocks in, it's going to be about here, from there-ish, I don't know, possibly there, to about, it's only going to be about 4 blocks wide, or 5 possibly, it's going to be about there, I reckon. And then we're going to have, let's see, this here, we're going to have probably, let's see, how many blocks do we have? We have about, not enough there, because I need a full stack. I can't see what I'm dealing with. We're going to have a building here for about possibly 10 blocks like that. So let's just map that out like so, kind of like that. There we go. And then we're going to have a building here, but that's going to be a bit bigger. Probably like this to about there. Then we're going to need another building here. Probably about that big. Yep. How many blocks was that? 5 blocks. We probably want it to be about so wide, possibly a block wider than that. Like so. Yeah, that's probably about right. And yeah, I think we're probably going to need a little bit more space if we can manage it. Where's our gateway? It's over that side. So we might just make it a little bit further over in this direction. And then, of course, we're going to need space for fields and things too. And this is where worrying about, you know, the direction of the road is going to be of paramount importance. We might have to angle it over in that direction a little bit more just to avoid the road cutting in on the farm too much, because it's got to have space all around it for things. And we've already got a great big old ditch here. I might have to just try and fill that in the best I can at a later date. But first we just want our sort of farm buildings sorted out. And I don't know, we might have enough space here actually, because our farmhouse is gonna be from about here probably. Let's just do it from about, how many blocks is that? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Call it 12. There. Call it about there. We want it to be a decent size. Actually, it probably wants to be about there, because we don't want it coming up straight against there. It's going to be about this size, and it's going to go to about there. Yeah, to about there, I think. Possibly a little bit bigger. Yeah, maybe we'll do that, actually. Yeah, maybe that makes more sense. And then there we go. Is that kind of what we're after? Sort of. Mostly, I think. I think that's mainly what we're after. There we go. Okay, so we've got our gateway entrance here. We're going to have a little courtyard here. We're going to have a farmhouse here, which is going to be on 2 levels. We're going to have a little yard around the back of the house here, which we can, like, I don't know, plant as a herb garden. I don't know. And then we're going to have, yeah, the house here with the door here. We're going to have a well in the middle here. We're going to have, this is kind of an outbuilding, and then this here is the barn. Nice. I think that's the right size. I don't think I need to change that. I don't think I need to add anything to that. But obviously what we do need to do is make this pathway, right? And at the moment, the pathway is not really leading in the right direction to join up with the path that we made before. So we're just going to have to adjust that a little bit. But as I said, we actually want this to be a relatively wide cart track. So in point of fact, we do need to make sure that that it is wide enough. And I probably will need to get some, I might just fill this one in and make a whole new one going out in this direction. And I need myself to sort out where this road is going to be so that I can actually, oops, you see, you're asking for it too. Well, let me get hide out of that though. So I need to do a bit of mapping out. I need to fill this in with grass. It can stay fairly level because I think we'll have our orchard out back here. And then in the next episode, what we're going to do is we're going to start with our fields and what have you. So we're going to need a few fields. It's only you know, sort of an old style small holding. It's going to have some fields and things, but it's not going to be massive. It doesn't need massive fields. It's going to have an orchard. It's going to have fields for growing the crops that we know that we can grow. But we don't need oodles and oodles of space. It's not going to be absolutely silly huge or anything like that, so we don't need to worry too much about that. And then this is going to be kind of, it's going to have walls around the outside. We'll probably have a gateway going through here into our orchard, which will also be walled. So it's going to be sort of quite secure as well, if you like. And I quite like the idea of having a wall around the outside of it, because then there's nothing dangerous around here particularly at the moment, but I want a field that we can keep livestock in too, and I want that to be kind of closer to the road. So that's my plan there. That's what we're going to do there. So yeah, in the next episode, I think we'll plan out our fields. And before we actually build up the farmhouse, we are going to get the fields sorted out. So we're going to know where our fields are going to be, where our orchard's going to be, how big they're going to be. And we're going to plant those up so we've actually got some food to eat in the meantime. And that's good and growing. So we'll make ourselves a home and things, and then yeah, then we'll get on and build the farmhouse as well, and that will be our first build, and then we will take it from there. And we have got a long way to go. This is a big project, guys, so I hope that you will be with me all the way. So in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, you know what to do. Hit that like button and let me know. Also, feel free as ever, leave your comments, hints, suggestions, and until the next episode, keep gaming, keep surviving, and stay happy. Bye bye for now.